in the presence of this massive contingent of law enforcement, 40 FBI agents. That is such a shocking number.
Right. When they're canvassing the area right now, so these 40 FBI agents who are descending into Ferguson to try to see who witnessed the Michael Brown shooting. We already know of 3 that have been on network television all over the world over the past week. So we know we have 3 suspects, or we know we have 3 eyewitnesses. Now they're trying to look for as many people as possible.
But what's the point of that? I mean, you don't need FBI agents to investigate a killing, right? Police departments do that for a living. Well, that's what they do.
But you see this local police department seems to be completely overwhelmed by what's happening. But
you also have the
right
state.
now.
I mean, the Obama administration is sending a message. They're saying it's 1956 again. We need federal agents in there because the state is totally corrupt, racist, whatever, incapable of doing this. Is that actually true? I don't know. But 40 is an awful lot.
Well, and you bring up another point, which is the local police department investigating this homicide and doing what they needed to be doing. And now we know, according to the Wall Street Journal this morning, that the Department of Justice didn't want that video released of the convenience store,
because they felt it would inflame or incite more.
Well, I don't know. Do we know? Do we know what?
That's what I read. That they felt that it would anger the crowd more.
But the local
which I don't
police
understand.
department, Ferguson, wanted to release this video that you're seeing here. The Department of Justice said, "Don't release it. Don't release it." And they said, "You know what? We're going to release it anyway."
Well, the Ferguson Police Department released it, they say, because they received freedom of information requests from the media, so they're required by law to release it. Why would the Justice Department pressure them not to? Obviously, It's not to keep the situation under control. You just heard from Rod Wheeler that they refused to intervene when people were looting stores. So if you had an interest in keeping the situation under control, you would control the situation by preventing people from stealing wigs from a beauty supply store, and they're not doing
it. The thing is, though, that the crowd, though, immediately went out there after they found out that this man was shot. A young black man was shot by a white cop. They went out there. They were furious about it. Had that tape been out there, had the crowd realized that this man might have been robbing a store, there might have been something else criminal going on there, to sort of lend credence to the fact that maybe this, in some way, we don't know this, but maybe this officer was justified. Maybe this was a bad guy. Maybe he wasn't the gentle giant. I'm not saying that that's what it was.
I have no idea. I really don't. I think it's, I'm absolutely willing to believe that the cops did a terrible thing and overreached and killed a guy who shouldn't have been killed. I mean, I'm completely willing to believe that.
Right.
It's not the job of the Justice Department to withhold information that belongs to the public. They don't own that tape. They can't prevent its release. Why would they try and keep that information from the public? It's very strange.
And if they're doing, and the other side of this too, critics are saying this morning, if they're doing such a big investigation, why has there not been a warrant issued for the arrest of the police officer? Questions still remain as to whether or not this was a legitimate shooting. Was he protesting? Was he involved in some sort of scuffle with police? Well, there's been no issue for a warrant.
Here's what we do know. There's an election coming up in November of this year. And if you think that the president's statement on this had nothing to do with the election, then you should come and move in with me in Washington for a while. We'll teach you how the city works, because I believe that they were connected.
We'll have much more on this throughout the show. We've got 4 hours. We've got a couple of great guests coming up to talk about it.